Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. My name is Jeremy Pascal. I am the Madison County Hazmat Team Leader. Welcome to our meeting. It's been a very long time. I'm glad to see everybody healthy and here. Thanks for those joining us via video. If you could mute unless it's your turn to talk, I would appreciate it. Let's see. So let's get started. So we have invited some steering committee members to introduce themselves. First, let's see who we have. I have a DT. I don't know who that is.
That's Dan Tallman.
Dan Tallman. All right, he's actually our newest member of the hazmat team. Let's just start with you, Dan. Go ahead and introduce yourself real quick. And you are muted, Dan. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
I work full-time at the Fire Marshal's office for the Division of Arson Investigation, and I'm a lieutenant on the Highland Fire Department.
All right, yeah, Dan just finished up his hazmat tech this past fall, so welcome, Dan. Still haven't met him in person because of all this, so we look forward to that. And then we have our Director of Emergency Management, Tony Falconio.
Good morning, everybody. So yeah, Director of Emergency Management. And the reason I'm part of the Hazmat Steering Committee is I am the chairman of the LEPC, Local Emergency Planning Committee, and I'll get into that after our introductions.
Okay. And then somebody's driving in their nice pickup truck. Can't see who that is right off.
It could be me, Phil Ducker.
Yes. So go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
So daytime, I'm the public works guy for Grand Fork, Village of Grand Fork. And in my free time, I'm the Highland Huron Chief. And I count on you guys for my hazmat questions.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Decker. And then we got somebody down below there looking at the ceiling. Can't quite tell who that is.
That's your laptop, Jeremy.
Yeah, that's your laptop. Thank you very much. Yep, there's the new hazmat team laptop.
And then your other two on there are Bernie and Rick Hasse, just FYI.
All right. There we go. That makes more sense. All right, so let's see. Go ahead and Mr. Hasse, go ahead and introduce yourself, please. You may be muted. We're not able to hear you right now. Let's move on to Bernie Siebold.
Can you hear me, Jeremy?
I can.
Perfect. Yeah, this is Bernie Siebold. I think probably everybody here in attendance knows me. Used to be with the Alton Fire Department, left in 2019, and have been a member of the hazmat team for several years. I'm now the health and safety manager for Illinois American Water. With that being said, we still have a lot of interest in emergency preparedness and look forward to getting the Madison County Hazmat team into some of our facilities locally to look at the chemical hazards that are present.
Excellent. Looking forward to making that happen. They'll be part of our outreach section of our agenda. Any other steering committee members? Let's talk about Rick Hasse. Are you on? Okay.
Hey, it's Ryan.
Oh, go ahead.
It's Ryan from USDL. I had to get on my personal device.
Okay.
Just so you know that I got an alert from our secure servers that this is a compromised, potential risky application. So I don't know if I didn't know if anyone's vetted it. So
We won't. We'll make sure we won't say anything top secret today. Thank you. Just trying to try something out with this platform, but thank you. Go ahead and introduce yourself, please, if you don't mind.
yeah, I'm Ryan Cunningham from US Steel. I'm one of the emergency service managers here. We have a on-site hazmat team, and we also I also participate in the hazardous materials steering committee. Looking forward to finding out what's going on today and being a participant in this meeting.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's try this view. Now we can see everybody. All right. Any other steering committee members? So the steering committee, we used to just do fire chiefs. We've also expanded that to other community and industry leaders because that's who we serve. So we've expanded the steering committee membership to more accurately reflect the community which we serve. One of my favorite things about being on the hazmat team is providing that extra level of service. Just last week, Mr. Arnold and I, sorry, not your dad, Frank Arnold, we got, our normal responded to a call, and our normal mission is emergency response, right? But last week we decided we got a call that was a request for the hazmat team that was decidedly not an emergency. A homeowner who was trying to finish his basement had spilled some solvent. He has a pregnant wife, several young children, and this guy did everything. He went above and beyond to protect him. He got them out of the house for several days. He ventilated. He even went to work and got his own 4-gas meter and tried to monitor for combustibility and other hazards. Called the EPA, called the manufacturer. He absolutely went above and beyond trying to make sure his family was safe. But the one thing he couldn't do was monitor for volatile organic compounds. So he called the fire department, and the fire department referred him to the hazmat team. So Frank and I responded, and he told us the story. And being able, for this product, we were nowhere close to the IDLH or even the OSHA permissible exposure limits. Not even close. But being able to give this member of our community that peace of mind that his family was as safe as he could make them is why I do this. There was no excitement, there was no lights and sirens, there was no hero, but being able to provide that extra level of service is why I'm here. So let's talk about the status of the team. It's been a long time since.
Good report, also.
Oh, thank you. It's fun. So status of the team. It's been a long time since we've been able to get together. We're hoping to change that, and we'll talk about that later. So the vehicles, we have sold the small old hazmat truck and got a new Ford chassis with a rescue body. That is a quick response vehicle designed for about 4 people. It's got 4 SCBAs, and you can do multiple suits. It's got a small amount of decon. You can get started on an incident. It's got some monitoring on it. It's also encouraged for the duty officers to take that with them when it's their month. We did change the plan for the duty officer last year, and it seems to be working pretty well. We went from just whoever responds to having a call list. That way that we have a point of contact every month. We rotate that. And we have a backup plan if they're not available as well. The 5350, got some, it's doing pretty well. No big problems. It's housed here at at the SIU station at Edwardsville. 5351. The smaller truck is at the Wood River Garage normally. That's about it. We got a new Hazmat ID Elite, works really well. Used it just a couple of weeks ago, back end of January, to help identify a product, an unknown product, and that worked really well. We are going to get our other Hazmat ID Elite repaired, so we'll have 2 of those. The old Hazmat ID that runs off of Windows XP, we have to keep hold of it, but it's no longer on a vehicle. We also got some other odds and ends, working on getting those small things that just help the incidents go a little easier. So there's that. Members, so right now we have 35 on our roster. Some people I haven't seen or heard from in a very long time. So we're going to be working through that. We're going to be making some phone calls, asking what people's what the word is like right there. Intentions. Thank you. It started with an I. I just couldn't. What their intentions are regarding the involvement with the team. I'm hoping to improve communications, improve activity, and then get people to. I want to serve both the membership as far as responders and also the membership as far as member departments. So expect some inquiries into that. Outreach and recruitment. Again, we have member departments that pay a membership fee to the Hazmat team. They pay us for a service. And I don't want it to be like insurance where you pay for it and hope you never use it. I want to be proactive with the team and develop an outreach program where we take small groups to the departments, provide some education, some training, and make sure that everybody knows how to contact us, what our mission is, how we can help them. So we're going to be putting that out there as well. And then once we and possibly recruit some people as well. Also want to start a monthly work and / training day. We got a lot of equipment and supplies that are just sitting on shelves that we need to go through. We have a lot of new equipment on the trucks, small stuff. It's not big flashy stuff, but we need to get some hands on some of the stuff that we've not touched in years. And then we'll calibrate monitors. We'll get stuff out, work with it, do some vehicle maintenance, make sure the SCBAs are good, things like that, and then also do a training session. So expect that. I'm planning on doing that every month, about mid-month, around the 15th. And I meant to have the calendar up here for February, for March. So it looks like right now, March 15th will be our next date. I'll be sending out a notification for that. So I would like to get some feedback regarding time of day. I'm really encouraged by the amount of people who've joined us here live, being able to participate. So I know most of us are career firefighters, which I understand that everybody has a different schedule. But and so for me, usually during the day is best. At night, my kids have activities and whatnot. So in the past, we've had a lot of trainings at night. Didn't have much participation. So eventually, I'd like to get some feedback as to is the daytime better? I know people would get their kids off to school early, 9 o'clock hour. So that's why I picked 10 o'clock to start today. But not in the afternoon where you got to pick up kids and move them around and all that stuff. So I'll be looking for some feedback on that. I don't have a time yet on March 15th, but we're gonna plan for that. And it will be at the Wood River Garage at the EMA office. But I'll send that all out.
How about you, Bobby Bloomberg?
Tony, did you have something else you wanted to mention?
Yeah, thanks. I just want to I want to go over a little bit about the LEPC and the steering committee. Just for, I know we've got some new members, but also some guys that that may not be aware of where we get our money from. I know, Jeremy, you alluded to the departments paying dues. Those dues do come from our MABUS 35 division, so it's not just Madison County. And those dues are $300 annually. We send out those invoices on January 1st and start receiving those. I would say we're probably 75% in, just off the top of my head. So that gives us quite a bit of money. The county planning and development office, which is kind of our, they also handle hazmat waste disposal and stuff like that for the county. They also contribute $25,000 to the team. So that's kind of where we get funding. That's where if we need a new equipment, we need replacement equipment, that's where that money comes from. The LEPC, Local Emergency Planning Committee, is mandated by the state of Illinois. So under that umbrella, we can have subcommittees. One of our subcommittees is the Hazardous Materials Steering Committee. So that steering committee, which is, some of those guys are on here now, is made up of 13 individuals, 13 different departments. There are chiefs from departments from volunteer to combined to full-time, and then 3 industrial partners as well. So I want to list off those guys, so if you guys have any questions, you can approach these people. So first off is Brian Wilson. He's the chief from Highland. Tim Bunt. Tim is also the chief in Rosewood Heights, but he's on because of Olin Brass, or now it's Veland. Chief Cranmer from Godfrey, Chief Stallhut from Wood River, Rick Hasse. Rick is chief up in Staunton, but is also obviously Wood River Refinery and also a team member and duty officer. Wade Stallhut is also is he a duty officer, Jeremy, or just a member?
He's a duty officer. Duty officer
as well. We had Chief Edmond from Collinsville. Chief Edmond has left us, and now Chief Balo is on there. So Balo is our newest member. He couldn't make it today, but he comes to us from St. Louis, and I don't know if it's St. Louis City or St. Louis County somewhere, but he has a lot of hazmat experience. So I'm looking forward to picking his brain a little bit. Ryan Cunningham. Ryan introduced himself earlier. He's from U.S. Steel. Chief Decker was on from Highland Huron. Chief Whiteford from Edwardsville, Chief Prasma from Granite City, and Chief Jemison from Alton. So those make up your steering committee members. The other 2 people that are on the committee is myself as EMA director, and then also the president of the MABUS 35 division, which right now is Chief Whiteford. So that makes up your committee. I just wanted to give everybody a heads up and how things operate and how things work. So for those duty officers that are here and listening, anytime you go out on a response, just like Jeremy has done, create that report for us and also let us know what equipment you need to replenish. We ask that you kind of find that for us and send us links to make it easier on us for ordering replacement parts. So if you ever have any questions on that stuff, feel free to reach out to myself or my deputy director, Mary Kate Brown. So that's all I got. Thanks.
Thank you, Tony. So next on the agenda is suggestions. Always looking for ways to improve. Some things we really want to improve on is participation. So I know I'm part of other groups as well that are having a hard time with participation. They're having a hard time figuring out how to get people involved, how to get people engaged. And I know we have that issue too. So one of the things I want to improve on is communication. And like I said, we're going to start having monthly meetings, gatherings, trainings, to give people that opportunity to participate more. We do not have a large call volume. Last year, we had 9 activations. 5 of those were for diesel spills. So we've had 3 this year. 1 was a diesel spill. So I'm conflicted when it comes to, the incidents that we're having don't need 10, 15, 20 people. But I don't want people to not feel like they're not welcome or not feel that they're part of the team. So I am looking for suggestions. So for those of you who are new, who don't know, the activation process is the incident commander from the fire department usually will contact Edwardsville Dispatch. So no matter what, if you need the hazmat team, it needs to go through Edwardsville Dispatch. And then they will activate the duty officer and give the duty officer some contact information. They'll contact the incident commander or their designee and get some more information. And they'll start making those decisions on what type of response we need. Our levels of response are a phone consultation from the duty officer, and then a partial team activation, and then a full team activation. That's what we have in place right now, that tiered, measured response, so that we don't overwhelm an incident or waste anybody's time. I don't want to call 15 people out and have 15 people standing around. So I know there's been I've heard some talk about that our calls don't generate that need for people to participate. So I am looking for suggestions. You can either share them now, share them with me personally. I welcome them. I can't guarantee that we'll be able to employ them, but I will listen. Yes, Nate.
Just one thing, maybe instead of that page that comes out that says duty officer's going to handle it, kind of like you did with this one with Frank, just say if anybody's available and wants to come observe, because there may be guys that haven't done hazmat for a while, I want to come stand over Jeremy's shoulder and watch the paperwork, watch that process, instead of just being duty officer's going to handle it. Maybe a few guys are available and want to come assist and observe.
Okay.
Make it a little more open so people to
right.
see what's going on.
So we just had a suggestion from Nate Camp from Wood River. He suggested that when we have a small incident that theoretically one person could handle or the duty officer could handle, if they're going to the scene, we actually do a partial team activation. If there's anybody in the area, anybody available, go ahead and respond to the scene with that. Great suggestion. I do want to move toward that. Just for purposes would be for observation, if at the minimum. But I'm sure there's something we could all do. I don't want anybody necessarily to respond individually to an incident. We should always be at least operating in pairs, so that not only for our safety, have a second pair of eyes. Also for any if somebody makes any claim against us, we would have another party there as a witness. So.
Like we hear all the time, is duty officer handle it. You guys always say duty officer got it.
Okay.
Now you're just kind of opening it up.
Okay. So, okay. Yeah, absolutely. So I'll be, yes, I think we can implement that. We will make sure the duty officers know that they are not to respond individually. So if they're going to the scene, they need to request help or participation. All right. Yeah, Bob Morgan.
Jeremy, Bob Morgan. When the duty officer gets the call out from our dispatch and they call, is dispatch sending the contact information, or do they have to call our dispatch and then get the information, or is it a two-step process?
So,
IC?
So Bob Morgan from Edwardsville asking about our duty officer activation. He asked, does dispatch on the initial duty officer activation, do they give the contact information? or does the duty officer have to call Edwardsville Dispatch before they call the incident commander?
Dispatch 1343 in route.
In practice, it's been both. Sometimes they put that information in there, sometimes they don't. The procedure, the steps in the procedure, if I'm remembering correctly, for the dispatchers is the duty officer is supposed to call Edwardsville Dispatch just to have that, be able to ask questions and follow up and have a better communication than just text.
To make a big active 911 though, right? To say that the duty officer's been assigned, what they supposed to send a secondary page to let somebody know that they've taken it that point. Not
Yeah.
that they call back in and
Right.
yeah.
So at that point, once the duty officer has accepted the call and they're going to take it, either Edwardsville Dispatch or the duty officer needs to put out who they are, who is taking that call, just so that we all know that somebody is handling it and not just hanging out there, not being taken care of. But I've seen it both ways, where the dispatcher will do it or the duty officer. And that's part of that phone call to coordinate that part of it.
Dispatch 1310 in route.
So, all right. Last but not least, we have new T-shirts that we have enough for everybody. The caveat, we also have patches. We have Velcro versions and sew-on versions of our new emblem. The caveat is you got to come get it. When can you come get it? At our team meetings. So either those in attendance today will get a T-shirt and a patch, and when you show up for our monthly meetings, you will get yours. So there's that. Anything. And then one more thing, we'll get to
Dispatch
Todd.
1344 right now.
Also, training. We do have training requirements. It's 12 hours a year. That's 1 hour a month. We do have a training website on Wix that gets put out regularly. It's very easy. You just do this online training, usually read something, take a quiz, and you get at least, I think, an hour of training hours. It's pretty simple, and it's good stuff. Jacob Elder, our training officer, does a really good job of finding trainings for us to participate in. We're looking to a training platform as well to provide online training and track that for us. But it has a financial aspect to it, which if we go with, there'll be some requirements. If we're going to pay for you to get trained, we're going to pay for it. The team has to pay for it whether you do it or not. And if you don't do it, why are we paying for it, right? So we're looking into that as a possibility. And other than that, Todd Zobrist from Highland had a question.
Recruitment and retention and trying to get people more involved. And I know COVID has been an absolute mess for everybody, but I don't want to do online training. I want to come and do hands-on like anybody else.
Right.
And I feel like it sounds like the direction that you're wanting to head also, but I've been kind of disgusted, frankly, with my skills. I know have diminished greatly.
Sure.
I took Hazmat Tech probably already 5-6 years ago. And I'll admit, I mean, I'm a duty officer and I want to get more hands-on stuff. And
right.
So I feel like when you're trying to get people involved and whatnot, is that they have to be worthwhile. They have to be things that are fun and and I applaud Coulter Tate. I mean, when he set stuff up, he brought in people or we were doing stuff, and that's ultimately where I'd like to see us be. Now, I come with a complaint, and I should be helping with that also, and I plan to. I'll try to set up some things and work that direction also. But I think that'll help ultimately with the morale of the group and getting the numbers and whatnot to be involved and whatnot. So not only the call side of it, but just to come and get our hands on stuff again and get together as a group. And I really think that's the direction the team needs to go.
Okay. So Todd Zobrist, one of our duty officers from Highland Huron. Don't want to make that mistake. Because because of Civil War. So Todd had the suggestion of making sure that we have trainings that are in person, hands-on, interesting, intellectually engaging, things that make you think, making it enjoyable for the participants, and not just the online training, which is where we're going towards. That's our goal, to get back into that. So, all right. Anybody online that has any suggestions?
It's Rick Hosey. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Rick. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Rick Hosey. I think Tony hit it. I'm the Director of Emergency Services and Security at the refinery, and I'm the fire chief in Staunton. I'm the old guy here, so I was one of the original members of the steering committee, and I was one of the original members of the hazmat team. Going back to what Todd said about getting engaged and stuff. We do quarterly training at the refinery. We've always said this, that if there are people from the hazmat team that would like to come to training at the refinery, because we do hazmat specific trainings, we're also very willing to bring the hazmat team out to do training at the refinery from a standpoint of, we've got some props and things that probably aren't available at other locations. People want to come out. If the team wants to come out and use those things, we just need to know about it, and we will be glad to make those resources available to you.
Thank you, Rick. We really appreciate that. We will definitely take you up on that. I got ideas, big ideas. So, all right. Well, that's all I have on my agenda. Oh, one more from Bob Morgan.
Do we still have the trailer in Alton?
No, the trailer, we know. So we did for vehicles, we have 5350, which is the big truck, 5351, which is the quick response vehicle. And that is it so technically we have a side-by-side, but it is more useful to the emergency management agency volunteer teams right now. It is at our disposal at any time, but we weren't actively using it anyway.
Yeah,
but we know
that they require obviously safety training and all that on it anyway. So
right.
Like, well, how many of us even have that?
Right. Exactly. So if we do need it, it's available to us with a request. But we also do not have the trailer anymore. All the equipment was taken off and the trailer was sold. So, great question. Trying to lean, mean hazmat machine, right?
Hey, Jeremy.
Yes.
So on that note, guys, for EMA wise, obviously a lot of you guys that are firefighters as well, we have a rehab team. So anytime we get a full activation of the team, as a duty officer, don't hesitate to call and request that rehab team and any other supplies that you guys may need. Since we're coming from Wood River, obviously that's where a lot of your stuff is at. So if there's something you need on a scene, don't hesitate to call. Myself and my logistics coordinator, Matt Bogard, both get any hazmat active 911 alert. So we know when you guys are going, we know where you're going. So if you need something, don't hesitate to call me and say, hey, can you grab this and meet me on scene? So I'm available. Obviously easier for me Monday through Friday, but I'll come whenever you need me.
Right. Thank you. Yeah, I saw you guys got a light tower, portable light tower on a trailer.
We do. So we have. We just got these. I haven't made it a public announcement yet, but no, we have a. We got through some COVID money with the health department. We bought 2 light towers. One goes on a cart and you can plug it into a 110. The other one is actually trailer mounted and you can plug it into your 7-round plug on your truck. So we have it mounted on our black F-250 right now, and it's LED lights. There's, I think, 8 heads on it, so it's pretty bright. So any scene lighting stuff, feel free to call us as well.
Awesome, thank you. All right. Well, that's Frank Arnold, Collinsville.
We
when I look around the room and look at myself, we have a lot of old wood laying around. We don't have a whole lot of youngsters. Their theories are totally different from what I'm used to as far as leading the horse to water to get it to drink and to come into the arts. I'm not just talking hazmat, I'm talking trench, I'm talking technical, I'm talking ropes. We can't seem to get this group or the next generation involved to the level of you guys, because I'm a worker here. I'm not the, we got Bruce here who's fabulous with the chemistry. Tell me what you want done, I'm doing it. There's a group in here that we're missing. And it's not just me, it's not just here, it's everywhere. Has there been any input on how to help bring this group along? Because they want what we have anyhow, but they're not necessarily willing to do that. So has there been any discussion on how to try to bring these people up to come in? Because we're not going to be here forever. And it's like getting a new department in when you get 3/4 of them with 3 years or less on the hazmat team. We lose a lot. Is there, we all have our favorite people that we work with that we think would be fabulous to replace us. How do we get those people in to that point where we can bring them in? How, should we have our people come in with a sponsor or something like that to try to get better people, better retention? I don't know.
So Frank Holden from Collinsville is asking about the generational gap between the 10 plus 15 year plus guy on the team and how to make that connection with the younger members of our departments to encourage them and to get them interested in participating in the specialties. He mentioned trench and tech rescue and collapse and all that, rope rescue, as well as the hazmat team. And he's asking, has there been any discussion or determination on how to make that connection with those younger members of our departments? I haven't had any discussions. I've had some thought about it, and I haven't taken any action on those thoughts. Again, I'm open to suggestions. Frank mentioned maybe a mentoring program, which I think the existing members are the best recruitment tool for the team. So if you see somebody on your department that you think would be beneficial to the team, because I feel this goes both ways. I don't want to just take talent from people. I want to give them something as well, give our members something as well, in the form of training and a place to belong and some self-satisfaction in doing a job well done and making a difference. So I think if we're presenting that message to our younger generation, that is one option. I'll admit I don't understand completely the mindset, and I don't know what motivates them. So I'm looking for people who have ideas as to what motivates the newer members, the younger members of our departments. So, yep. It's like Mr. Burnley had a spasm or he has a comment.
So I think some of the problem would be the ongoing recruitment. I mean, you're talking about that gap and everybody sees it. We haven't recruited, and I don't like the word recruiting because we shouldn't have to recruit, right?
Right.
All these departments that are part of this team should be sending their people. And Eversville is a great example. I could go to probably 5, 10 guys like, hey, we're going to be sending you into the hazmat team. And then they're either going to say, no, and then we move on, or like, okay. If you're asking people to do this, they don't want to take on extra responsibility, stuff like that. But if you tell them, like, hey, we need you to do this, they'll jump in. But that gap, I think, is since I've been here, I think we've added maybe 3 or 4 new guys. It's got to be that continual process. So we're going to do a good push this year, but then next year you got to push. And I think it all starts when you scrub that list. 38 guys, what, 12 active? Your duty officers, really.
Without the monthly activities though, on a regular schedule, it's really hard because we have brought guys and then they say, what do you guys do?
Right. When was the last time you were in suit?
They just kind of fall off the
Right.
side. Yeah. We have to have a regular meeting, regular training, and regular stuff going on, and it's much easier to bring guys in and keep them involved.
And I think that's what the younger generation wants. If they're gonna do something like this, they need the action, the activity to engage them, to make it worth their while.
Right. No,
Everybody wants to get better. Everybody wants to learn. So when you challenge people, with that comes pride and a sense of belonging and all those things.
Right.
I see it with our volunteer department. I work career side, but the involvement with our volunteer side at Highland Fairgrounds has been impressive, but we're constantly pushing them through training.
Right.
We don't run a ton of calls, but they love showing up and they love being a part of that group.
Right.
We do rope rescue, we do trench, we do a lot of stuff, and they love it. They eat it up.
Right. I agree. So the discussion around the room is to increase that activity, the training, have a regular schedule so that people know they can come and they're going to be welcomed and challenged physically and mentally to improve their skills. So, yep, that's the plan. So, all right, that's all I got. Again, if you do have suggestions, please reach out to me. I think everybody has an email. I have several, and my phone number.
Hey, Jeremy.
Yes.
Hey, it's Corey. Just being the communications radio nerd that I am, does everybody that's sitting here get the active 911 alerts and the tests once a month? Or is there anybody that needs to be added to it? Or
so everybody in the room is getting them.
Okay.
Corey, this is Bernie. I think I got to give you my new number and network.
Oh yeah, I still have you listed. It's just probably not the right number. And yeah, do you still have my original number?
Stand by. Let me check. Also, hey Jeremy, would you change my affiliation if you haven't already done so? I'm still staying active via the Jerseyville Fire Department.
Yes.
Okay. I got your number, Corey.
Okay, Bernie. Yeah, just text me your new stuff and whatever all I need is whether it's Android or iPhone, your phone number and a good email. And I'll get you edited in here and make sure we're getting alerts.
I appreciate that. Hey, Jeremy, on the training piece, if I don't know what our status is on props and things like that. Ed and I had a conversation on hazmat stuff just yesterday, actually. But if we could make our training, to your point, more meaningful, in say if we're going to train on coring, let's get our prop and hook up air to it, hook up water to it, make it blow, use a smoke machine, fill the room up, and just make it more realistic, more like a drill as opposed to training.
Yes.
I think if you bring along the new kids, so to speak, to watch the old guys still get dressed up and then include them in it and pair them up, young and old, you may get some buy-in, because at 9 calls a year, you're not going to get buy-in by enticing them through call volume.
Right. I agree. Thank you very much. We'll have Jake Elder coordinate that with you. So perfect. Love it. All right. For everybody who's in attendance, I got the big truck downstairs and a box of T-shirts. We're going to go through. I know we're going to calibrate the monitors, get some stuff out. We'll look at whatever you want. I have till 7 o'clock tonight, so I don't expect anybody to stay, but that long. But I'm here for you. Yes, and we just flow tested the SCBAs. And it probably was probably the last time they got used was last year when they got flow tested. So let's get those out and play with them a little bit. So thank you very much. I appreciate everybody, and we'll talk to you later.